And welcome to another Warcraft the audio commentary. Today we're watching Game 2 of the ifeng Cup, the Phoenix Cup. It's a Chinese thing. I suck at pronouncing it. These games are being streamed on twitch.tv/Pureby. The replays are, anyway. And the games will go up on YouTube tomorrow-ish. I think we're a day behind because YouTube went into like maintenance mode yesterday, so I couldn't like actually get the games that were scheduled to go on the channel yesterday up. But that happens. But other than that, let's introduce our players. We do have WFZ spawning in as the Red Undead on the left side of the map. I don't know. And then we have Yumiko spawning in as the Gray Human on the right side. This map is, of course, Echo Isles. It's a classic, right? Everyone likes this map, except me. I don't like the map. I don't like it. Like, look, right? We have this base. Look at this. Got water. You can't build in the water, okay? So you don't have a lot of building area over here. Get some down there, but it's not a lot. Compared to this side, look at that. You get like tons of space. You get like screens of space you can build on. That, I don't like it. I don't like it. It's just not symmetrical. And okay, things don't have to be symmetrical, but they should be, right? Like, I think they should, generally. At least not something this glaringly, this is just, it's huge. I don't like it. But yeah, let's look at the heroes. We see a Mountain King coming out for Yumiko. That's a good hero on this map. You can do the Archmage, but this is a pretty good Mountain King first map. It's insanely good, actually. And of course, we got the forward Arcane Tower. This is always interesting. You know, for the longest time, I don't think anyone thought that this was unsafe to do. But there was, about a month ago, actually. Oh, I wish I could remember who it was. Someone who killed it. And like, consistently would just kill those offensive Arcane Towers. So, yeah. It's useful, but it's not safe, right? It's not completely safe, but it is safe at least for a little bit. It's just a little bit. But we're gonna see Yumiko. Now I would have probably bolted that when it was right beside that farm, but of course Yumiko's better than me, so he knew. I mean, you can see WFZ was doing that intentionally. He was like trying to bait it. He ran right into that tree. I don't know. I mean, he didn't have enough units around to surround it, so that's why he did it. Which is really good play right there by WFC, and really good play by Yumiko to not just like go, ooh, he's by the tree, bolt him, you know. So great control, keeping calm, everyone keeping calm, and just playing well. So good. Over here we can see pretty much what you expect, just some footmen coming out. A little bit more harass going to come in from these little skeletons guys. Got a little acolyte taking some damage. He's hiding in by the creeps, chilling out. Here you can see there's a scout footman. We do have WFC teching up, of course. Pretty standard, fast tier 2 fiend tech, it looks like. We get the neuer a bit earlier so that the footman doesn't come in here and kill all of your acolytes. And we're going to see a skeleton getting ensnared, probably by the creeps, and getting picked off by this little army. Here we will see the Death Knight trying to come up here. Oh, he could be in trouble right there, maybe? Maybe not. Looks like Yumiko really wants to wait for the sure thing before he uses the bolt. I don't know. That was an iffy call by Yumiko to not just go ahead and bolt. I mean, the Death Knight was like right there. But hey, you know what? Who knows? We're gonna see some militia coming in. 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 militia coming in to creep this out. And of course, we will see him picking up the Forest Troll Shadow Priest. He's actually gonna abolish the Lightning Shield, which is good because otherwise he would have done a lot of healing. And of course he picked up the Forest Troll Berserker, and he will creep all of that out. Picks up a Ring of Regeneration, not a bad item. Gives you some extra hit point regeneration, 2 per second as you can see. Just look at how fast it is. It's really fast, actually. It's really good. It's a great item. It also sells for a fair bit, so you can just sell it if you don't want it, but if you do want it, it's not bad. On the left side, we'll see there's Yumiko just scouting with the footman, doing a little bit of harass here, actually. Looks like WFZ decided to creep this, and he used his ghouls. He might, yeah, he's forced to use the coil to keep that ghoul alive, mainly because of that footman there. So that footman definitely paying itself off, if that's one way to look at it. And I'm so, what is he doing? What? I don't know. I guess he doesn't want to finish the creep camp. Maybe he was afraid because there was a footman here. Maybe that scared him. Maybe he was like, maybe the Mountain King's coming. And if that was the case, he would have needed to run. But, yeah, that actually wasn't the case. Yumiko was, indeed, just putting up an expansion down there. And we're going to see him go ahead and kill this. Even use a coil to pick it off, and that will give him level 2. The Mountain King should be level 3. Yeah. Ooh, and it's got Boots of Speed and a Staff of Teleportation. Really strong Mountain King, that guy. Over here we can see Yumiko. He is putting up his expansion. It's got a little expansion going on down here. And the Mountain King's running across the map. He's ready to do some work. Look at this. He's got full mana, 870 life. Great items right here. Gets Claws of Attack +6. He's a guy who attacks automatically. Or auto-attacks, I guess, is the normal way to say that. So having the +6 is not bad. He is melee, so... But he's not really like a Death Knight. He doesn't like just sit around and try to like steal creeps with bolts. I mean, you could do it. He might do it. I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's going to try to get in here, probably go for the Acolytes. You have to be a little bit careful. Yeah, he's going to, though. And those bolts, ooh, one shot, one kill when it comes to Acolytes. So actually, I guess it is a little bit like a Death Knight, kind of sniping and stuff. But, you know, I was thinking creeps when I said it. But here he's just going to go ahead and kill the Skeleton War and get a little bit of additional experience. Brings in a Footman. He's got the rest of his little army, a little ragtag band of troops down there. Going to come down to this Goblin Merchant. Maybe he wants to creep that out as well. He could pick up some additional experience. It wouldn't be bad for him. He does probably know that WFC is playing fairly defensive here, but he is actually teching to tier 3. He's got a statue coming out, so here we're going to see him just kind of bolting the I'm not sure why he bolted the Death Knight right there. But he did, and then he ran away. The bolt and run, classic strategy. Very classic. Of course, we're going to see the keep being built. We're teched up at the expansion slot.
A player's forces are under attack.
And we'll see one of those Acolytes goes down to another bolt snipe. The rest of these ghouls are just kind of chasing the Mr. Mountain King guy around, saying, "Hey, dude, get out of my base." And it worked. It worked really well. You can see that guy running away through the water. You can see level 2 on the Death Knight. This is really killer, right? This is not the situation that WFC wants whatsoever. He wants to be level 3. You really want to have like superior levels, whether they're the human or the undead in this matchup. First, we're going to see the Mountain King just TPing down here. He did take a lot of nukes, but since he used the Staff of Teleportation, which was what he expected, see the Lich coming at him, that's what he wanted to, that's why he bought it, right? Like, it's a very useful tool. He says, let me go creep out, and he was already creeping, so that was very fast, and that's actually a spot it looks like that WFC wanted to go creep. He's going to get here and go, what? I just nuked the Mountain King down! Come on! It's ridiculous. But he will pick up the Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, which is a really good item. One, really, the Mountain King probably would have been happy to buy, but he probably couldn't have afforded it or something, I don't know. No, he could have. He has plenty of gold. I guess he just didn't want it, which is odd. I don't know. That is odd, because hero nuking is a huge problem, whether you're the undead or the human. When you see a Mountain King first, both guys, both teams are going, oh, my heroes are not gonna, oof, you know. But, because, right, when you're dealing with the human army, they have a Mountain King first, he's really critical. You either focus down him or the Paladin when it comes out, or the Blood Mage when it comes out, because generally that's what you see following the Mountain King. But, and then, of course, with the Mountain King, you're Paladin, Blood Mage, you're just like nuking down heroes usually, so that's, I mean, you could do Fiends as well. It just depends on what the particular situation calls for, but generally, it's all about the hero focus. Anyway, level 3 has been finally picked up by the Death Knight. He does pick up the Orb of Corruption for his Liches. Of course, he also managed to pick up a Potion of Greater Mana. Great items all around. He definitely is very happy to have those. Again, talking about nukes, right? Mana is nukes. Mana is like the direct... There's like a very good relationship between the amount of mana the Death Knight has and the amount of damage he does, or the amount of utility he provides. So, a Potion of Greater Mana, super good. Doubles his utility, doubles his damage output, whatever you want to look at it. Really, really good item for him. And, of course, Mountain King, he does have a Scroll of Healing on him. He's going to just kind of be backing off. Let's look over here and see how many towers Yumiko made. Wow. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2 of those being scout towers.
Players'
But
forces are under
yeah,
attack.
working against the masonry upgrade. I think that's level 2. Yeah, level 2, and then of course improved lumber harvesting. Because you don't have a shredder on this map, so you need a lot of wood, so you make a lot of peasants who can make wood. Of course, we got some down here as well, and then we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more towers down at the expansion. Being very careful here. Got to keep, of course, tech. That's down here as well, and the blacksmith is out. Of course, right now, Yumiko is in the banking phase. He wants to bank up lots of money, and he wants to get tech, and then he wants to just, like, unleash hell. You know, with all of his tech, all of his money, he just wants to, like, oh, whoa, let's make a big force, and then attack him and kill him. And that's generally how you play as a human player, and that's what phase he's in. Because, you know, like, the different phases. The early game, where you're kind of, like, behind, you're trying to build up an expansion, you're like, oh, it's so hard to get my expansion up. But then in the mid-game, you're like, oh, it's so easy, my expansion's up. You just sit around and harass a little bit. And then in the late game, you're just like, ugh, pumping out units. And if you get to the next phase where you're out of money, you're like, oh, it's so hard, I have no money. Which is like it's like the reverse for the undead phases. So, hey, it's one way to describe undead versus human. First, we're going to see the 4-star Berserker. He is going to go down and die. We're going to see that happen to both of the mercenaries. And potentially this footman's going to die as well. He's getting coiled. I don't think he needed to get coiled. He had a lot of fiends attacking him, but that's okay. Down here, we can see that WFZ is trying to put up an expansion. This is a really good scout by Yumiko to catch this. And he can do a lot of damage to this expansion. He might not be able to cancel it. It's fairly far along on. But, he could have killed one more of those acolytes. He probably didn't want to. He's like, oh, it's so low, I'll just, like, hit it twice later. And really, it's not like these guys are going to go anywhere. They're going to come down here, and you can just kill them. So, he probably will just go right back around. He does have that staff of teleportation, so he can just TP out if he needs to. Though, I will say this, this is a really good thing for WFZ to be able to get this expansion up, and it's very surprising. That's kind of one of the goals, right? Although it looks like we're going to see a Tome of Experience being picked up by the Mountain King, netting him a nice level 4, which he wants to get level 5. He wants level 3 Bolt. Really bad. I'm kind of confused a little bit. He's making casters. Okay, here's the workshops. Oh, yeah. Here's all the 4 workshops. Oh, wow. Yeah, Yumiko is pulling out all the stops. You can see his lumber, though, is just unbelievably low, despite having so many guys on wood. Like, just so many dudes. He's going to have to build a lumber mill up here. Even though he's got one there, he just has to build another one. It's worth the gold. He has a lot of gold, doesn't have a lot of wood. Invest a little bit of gold for a lot more wood, right? That's what's going on right there. And of course, he does have the improved lumber harvesting and stuff. Now we can go ahead and see there's going to be a sacrificial pit built here, as well as a couple of ziggurats. He wants to, like, kind of wall these guys in if he can. Of course, you can always just bolt through the wall, so there's always that. But that's going to happen. We're just going to see, like, a very fast TP reaction from WFZ. You going to go for Acolytes, bro? I'm going to TP. Like, that was really fast. Like, the second he saw it, he was just like, I'm there, you know? Because it's very expensive. It's a lot of resources to invest to get this expansion up. So really, you know, and how often do you need to use your TP if you think about that? Also, we're going to see a Dark Ranger has been picked up by WFC. But if you think about it, the TP really, you know, it's on the map like this. It's not too hard, right? Because if we look at the, I don't know why the fog of words off the whole game. That was my bad. But if you look at the creeps, right, like, it's all messed up now. It's my bad. There's not a lot of creeps, though, really, on the map. But we're going to see the Mountain King coming right back down in here. Going to kill a couple more of these dudes. These towers are not going to phase this guy whatsoever. He's going to unload his whole mana pool, killing as many acolytes as he can, potentially all of them. And there's no TP to get the other guy back. So WFC is going to have to commit to this, and there's a lot of towers here. It's going to be very difficult for him to do that. Oh, he does have a TP, actually. He rebought it. Well, hey. Up here, we're going to see these 4 ghouls are going to try to come down here and help these 2 towers get this Mountain King out of here. And that's really what he wants to do, because he doesn't want to have to, like, try to deal with that running away. But, of course, we will see Yumiko has gone into tank tech. That 4 tanks are coming out. We have a couple more on the way as well. And tank upgrades are being currently researched. He already has 1 on those tanks. And I don't think we have any meat wagons on the field, but we have 1 on the way. It's in production. The question is, does WFC realize how many tanks are coming over here right at this very moment? Probably not. But he's going to build a slaughterhouse. He knows he needs those meat wagons. They're very important. You just have to build them. You got to get those guys out. You ideally want to have Frenzy Ghouls as well. And let's see, are these Frenzy Ghouls? Let's see. The way to tell is if they're both fast, and they're not. So these are not Frenzy Ghouls. Mainly you're looking at the movement speed, but it's easier just to go if they're both fast or good. But they can't be green. So if it's green, it's being boosted by artificially by the Unholy War. Anyway, so we're gonna see the TP. It's actually gonna come in and be pretty effective against the siege engines, the tanks here, and buy WFC the time to make some meat wagons to actually deal with this properly. Now, one thing about tanks on this map, right, and it's just interesting to think about, this is a map with very limited resources, right? You have the expansion and that's it. 2 gold mines per player if you split it perfectly. And in this case, that's kind of what's going on, right? 2 gold mines. You know, so you're investing tanks, which are not super cost efficient usually. I mean, they can be, but usually they're not. They're not a great unit, really. Not if your opponent is prepared, which we can see WFZ is preparing for it. I don't know. He's getting Disease Cloud. He is. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why. I don't know how good that is against tanks. Does it affect tanks? I don't think it does. But does it?
The town is under siege.
I guess we'll find out. Yeah. Anyway, if it does affect tanks, it's actually really good. But anyway, so the 3 tanks have come up to the main base right here. We can see we do have that Mount King as well, trying to take down the meat wagon. Of course, you can stun that with Bash, which is just kind of crazy. And the poor thing for Mr. WFC is that he's got to use acolytes to repair the meat wagon to kill the tanks. But then he can't repair the Black Citadel, and he's going to lose the Black Citadel, and that's really unfortunate. Of course, we do see that Mount King has taken a lot of damage. We do have lots of tanks down here as well, where the actual undead army is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tanks. Wow. So that's a lot of tanks to deal with. Of course, we did see the Death Knight coming up here, and that did force a TP on the Mount King, which forced all those tanks away from the main base. Of course, we do see that one of those very low, so yeah, it's not really a great situation that WFC is in, actually. But if you can survive long enough, then you'll be in good shape. Yeah, Disease Cloud doesn't affect tanks. I didn't think it did. So it's kind of odd. He could have bought like another tank instead of that. Or another meat wagon instead of that would have been more effective. But we will see this one tank going up there, so a lot of them have died. Of course, they've done a lot of damage. It's been a really good split attack by WFC, and it's really difficult. It's really difficult for WFC, or a great split attack by Yumiko, and it's been really difficult for WFC to actually defend against all this. So, it's honestly what would be really nice right now is if he had Frostworms, but he can't get Frostworms because he didn't make a boneyard when he had the Black Citadel, and he's not going to be able to get to Black Citadel for a while. He did have some sacrificial pits, but the thing about the Frostworms are like just having one really, because it slows down the crap out of the siege tanks. It makes them a lot easier to kill. Of course, we could always see a potential switch into like mass flying helicopters. Wow. Mass flying machines, right? For Yumiko to just kind of dominate any kind of air tech. So it's, in a way, it's reasonable because he's got like 4 workshops, right? I think he still does. Yeah, still has 4. But it would be really helpful because there's clearly 2 places, right, on this map where he is just at, like, problem areas. It's the top and the bottom. It's kind of a pretty good distance to get between them to defend tanks. And so it's kind of like... Up here we're going to see the Mountain King. He's just going to kill one of those acolytes. Going to try to kill the meat wagon as well. And we're not going to see the entire undead army move up here. We're just going to see, like, just the heroes, which is because he's afraid if there's going to be tanks coming down here, he needs to be able to defend this with his expansion, or with his army. But he had to defend this with his heroes, if that, you know, because there's a Mountain King up here. My army's not going to be super good against it, but my nukes will. So that's what happened there. And we do have a Shade, which is really useful. Lets him see, okay, there's a ton of stuff up here. The army itself, not that scary, but when you see 7 tanks coming your way, that's a little scary, especially when they're 3-1. They do a lot of damage, and you know there's going to be at least 1 or 2 down here coming to your expansion. There's no way Yumiko is just going to, like, attack with everything in one spot. There's just no need to. Tanks are really good about split attacks. So we're definitely going to see him leaving 1 meat wagon here and a couple of ghouls just to deal with however many tanks get here. And you can see him. He's going to start this. What's really not good is that he doesn't have a Nerubian tower. Could really use one. One Nerubian tower, super good. Oh, these are inner fire tanks. What? What? That is +5 armor. That gives them more than double their armor. One armor upgrade. And they have +7 damage. Oh, this is going to be really hard to deal with. But he does have Destroyer. So he can actually go ahead and dispel these inner fire buffs, which will be really nice. But he really needs to start doing that and use every cooldown. Because they're kind of split up in a way. And he's not using it. What is he? No, he needs to. Look, these guys they're immortal. Come on, get the buff. Get the buff. There you go. Whew. I mean, there's still like a ton of tanks, and you're gonna take a lot of damage from this. WFC is gonna have some trouble with this. Wow, inner fire tanks, really, really good, even against one destroyer. Yeah. So yeah, there you go. Down here, you can see these tanks are kind of just ripping through the bottom base, or tanks ripping through the top base. It's really touch and go right now for WFC. He's going to lose his gold mine up here. He's probably going to lose his necropolis again. Down here, he's lost a lot of stuff. Could probably end up losing this necropolis as well. Probably going to lose this gold mine. I don't know how he's going to hold on against this, because it looks like he's going to lose everything. And he didn't get a lot of... I don't even know if he broke even, really, defending this base, because he didn't get very much gold, not mined out. Keep in mind, these things started 12,000 gold, 12,500 gold, and he's down to 8,470, so he mined roughly 4,000 gold out of it, maybe closer to 5,000, but not a ton. And he's had to build a lot of buildings in defense there. Will he lose this necropolis? He might. Not actually. It depends on what this siege engine decides to do. Looks like he does lose it. So he doesn't have any. He does have a necropolis down here. Fair enough. Okay. He's got 3 acolytes down that way. He's got 5 up here. Doesn't have any gold mines. So that's not good. He does have 3,500, 3,600 gold left in that one. So he's definitely going to want to remake that. The problem becomes really... This is really bad. Because... Yumiko can just keep making tanks at this point. You know, at this point, he knows that his opponent WFC needs to like delay. Problem is, you can't delay to tech up and stuff really, or to like rebuild against someone who's just massing tanks. You can't do it. Maybe if you have like frost worms and really good map control, and you kind of bled them dry, they like put a ton of resources in, and they didn't do a lot. But in this case, Yumiko did a lot. He did like a crazy lot. So. I don't know. Yumiko is sitting in high upkeep. He doesn't even care. I mean, there's more gold, I guess, available, if you consider this gold available to WFC, as well as this up here, than there is for Yumiko, because Yumiko, he's out up here, right? I mean, you can see the disparity here. 3,560 gold. 3,500, 3,600 gold on this gold mine compared to this one being mined out, right? So that's kind of crazy. And then down here, of course, 2,900 gold. And then over here, 8,400, 8,500 gold. So it's like Yumiko is sitting here on like an 8,000 gold advantage over WFC because he's done such a good job with harassing. And that was me doing math. Yeah, I do math. I do math now and then. It's usually wrong, but whatever. Here we can see a couple of tanks. They're going to move across the map, and they probably want to just suicide into the haunted gold mine, but they could also just kill this sacrificial pit. They could go for some damage on the crypt, on the altar. You know, why not? There is a lot of stuff up here, so it's kind of crazy to not just come down here and kill this instead. But he's got a guy going down there, so why not? Yeah, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure what he's thinking. Yeah, he's going to try to run these guys out of here. He's like, this might not have been the best idea. Maybe he was expecting the undead down here. That's why he spent 1. If he had sent 1 up here and 3 down here, but it doesn't really need... There's like nothing down here anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter. He's just going to have to like do another big push, and that's a lot of tanks. He's bringing militia. This is... If WFZ holds this, he's the best player ever in everness. I don't think he's gonna hold this. There's like no way. Like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tanks down here. We had like 3 tanks up here. I don't know why they ran back to the base. I don't have a clue. And these guys have inner fire. Just a couple of them do. Looks like it kind of wore off a little bit. Those guys got it. And all he has to do is kill buildings. He doesn't have to fight. didn't even have to fight at all. He just right-clicked the buildings. There's only like 4 left, and that's not gonna. That number is gonna dwindle. So there's not a whole lot of combat fighting units for Yumiko here. Like WFZ's army clearly way better. You're gonna see the Blood Mage go down, giving level 5 to the Death Knight. You're gonna see the casters are all gonna get down and die. Really, if Yumiko could like surround a building with like his units, he could have actually held on a little bit longer here, but oh wow, he actually got this Necropolis up just in the nick of time to not lose the game. I mean, and he knows, right? If he can hide buildings, he could actually, yeah, he could actually do it if he could hide buildings from Yumiko and kill everything. Then yeah, he could win, because I mean, his opponent here, Yumiko, is about to run out of gold. He knows. You can see he's bleeding him dry. I mean, Yumiko has a pretty big bank, right? 2,000 gold. And he's just gonna invest that all into more tanks, apparently. Why not? He's got a good thing going, right? He's got him down to like 1 building. The problem is, I don't think that WFC has very much money. We can check. Yeah, he's got 8 gold with this Necropolis, so that strategy, it's probably not gonna work out too well. If he has anything he can sell, he sold his Orb of Corruption, right? That might have been right there. He might have put it on the he put it on the Death Knight and sold it. Still not quite enough gold. He doesn't quite have enough gold. Is there anything he can kill? Creeps? There's a couple creeps he could kill. He's got to be really careful. If he like gets like an uber block of surround with all of his units around that, then he could actually prevent the tanks from killing it. This is a big building, right? It would be a lot better if it was like a ziggurat here and he like blocked here and here. But he doesn't. He could do that actually. He could actually build a ziggurat somewhere and just block his units like that and kill all the tanks that come at it, and maybe win. That would be. He needs to build one really quickly. He needs to build something like ASAP. Can he afford to? He can't afford to. Where does gold go? He spent 100 gold or something. Right on his ziggurat. Oh no, not right there. That's not gonna help. You can see it. No, you gotta be able to block it. Oh, that's the last of his money. That's not. Oh, that was a little bit of a panic build, maybe. Because he could have put it back here somewhere, maybe. Oh, that's GG. Oh, WFC, you're killing me. You're such a good player. He's such a good player. But he didn't make the one move that could have actually, maybe, just maybe, kept him in the game. I don't know. It would have been really close. It would have been really close. But that was a great game, too. Yumiko won, so that means it's 1-1. That means there's a game 3. Oh, yes. We're going to watch that here in just a minute. We're going to go on break for just like 2 or 3 minutes. If you're on YouTube, hopefully there should be an annotation you can click right here. That'll take you to the next game. And if you're watching on the stream, we'll be back in like 3 minutes. See you then.